I was visiting my daughter in San Francisco for a girls' weekend. It was a glorious, beautiful sunny day, and we were having a wonderful time and doing a pretty good job at some retail therapy. But you can't be in downtown San Francisco and not also be fairly aware of the fair amount of homeless and street people that sometimes you have to navigate around and can be a challenge. Out of the corner of my eye, I didn't hear out of my eye, but I caught out of my eye and heard a commotion from one such street lady. My daughter, wanting to just avoid any sort of scary or dangerous situation, tried to usher me in another direction. But I was captivated. And I thought, something about this particular situation did not seem scary, but more urgent or important. So I make a beeline across the street towards this lady. As I approach her and remove my sunglasses, I begin to see more clearly that this was not at all what we had first thought. And this woman, though she stood a good foot taller than I am, a Laney size, which is not hard to do, I realize that with my size, was not a woman at all. And in fact, this was a girl, a young girl. And this commotion was distress and fear and panic. And I knew I had to figure out what was going on. We quickly realized, however, that this young lady, much like Smiley, did not speak or understand one word of English, nor any of the 3 other languages we tried. We knew very quickly I had to figure out a different way to communicate with her. How was I going to figure out and unlock what was happening? Well, we started pulling out every tool we had. We pulled out our cell phones, which she did not have. We were doing charades and mime, me, mama, this daughter, whatever we could do to figure, and then to get information from her as well. What we discovered was that her name was Malika. She was only 10 years old. She was visiting here in San Francisco from Serbia or somewhere in that general vicinity with her parents, but they had become separated and she was lost and she needed help. So we called the police, of course, and as it turns out, her parents, just as panicked and just as scared, had also been looking for her and looking for help. They were quickly reunited. There were tears of joy and hugs and laughter, and then, though we didn't feel like this at all, the one English word that we could hear and understand was hero, hero. Every day in our industry, I come across dentists and teams that are scared and lost trying to navigate their way around accounts receivable. Because we don't know the language, right? We don't know or understand it. We're not Reese Harper or Kevin. We're not accountants, or most of us aren't, or Rick Garofalo's. In my course, Decoding the Language of Accounts Receivable, I make it simple. I talk in a language that a Geri can talk, because I don't talk that language either. And we set about finding out what are the tools that we need to have to decode this mystery, to understand our KPIs and our reports. And if we can't get that from the tools that we have right in front of us, what are the tools that we can get? Dental Intel, Solution Reach. Where do we turn for help? We'll look at what are the best practices to manage those accounts receivable. And the bottom line is leadership, right? We've been talking about that for the last couple days. It takes leadership and accountability. And I tell all of my teams this: if Geri can do it, anyone can do it. And my limo actually is waiting, so I gotta go.